What's up, good people? It's Chris with the Fat Black Girl. Thank you for joining me today. So before we get started, I just want to encourage you to subscribe if you want more of this awesome, amazing fat black girl magic, and some great fat friendly, black friendly, female friendly content. Today we're going to talk about just ways for people of color, especially during this time, to practice some self-care. I am not at all a professional. I am not any kind of mental health professional. I am not like a nutrition or health professional. These are just my opinions based on what's going on in the world and what people of color may want to do to just practice some self-care right now. My last video was pretty emotionally charged. It was in the thick of the protests, the riots, the looting, and I just had to express what I was feeling. I just had to get it off my chest because it was a heavy time. I mean, I live in Chicago. Of course, there was protesting, there was rioting, there was looting. Then they shut down the city. There was just complete and utter unrest, and there was hurt, there was pain, and a lot of people not knowing what to do. I was blessed to sit on a panel discussion that I mentioned in my last video, and my sister Amanda, who joined us on the panel, who is a mental health professional, was talking about some ways to deal with the trauma that we have all endured being people of color in this world, in this nation. I just wanted to offer up some opinions on how to practice some self-care. If you are not careful, I speak from experience, you will continue to ingest bad news. I just don't even know another way to say it. Unfortunately, we live in a nation where black people dying is not a rarity, either at the hands of other black people or at the hands of the police or racists or what have you. And I get that it happens across cultures, across racial boundaries, but I'm a person of color. And so it is harder to deal with when there is a constant barrage of black people being killed. So with all that being said, let me just jump right into my list. So my first suggestion is to unplug from social media. I am trying to build my brand and become an influencer. And so part of my job is to keep up with pop culture, to keep up with social media, to keep up with politics and everything that's going on in the world. And sometimes that can just be overwhelming. And I, for a while at the beginning of the year, just deleted apps, social media apps from my phone. I deleted Facebook, I deleted Instagram, and I deleted Twitter because it was just too much. I got tired of seeing like people being killed, people being arrested. I just found myself feeling very weighted down and in despair and angry, and I needed to unplug. I took about 3 months, just unplug for a while, you know, and if it's important, you won't miss it. If your family needs to contact you, they can find other means. But for your own self-care and mental well-being, try unplugging from social media. My next tip is to talk, right? We are in a world where, especially during COVID, that human interaction is at an all-time low. Most communication is through social media, but if you can find a friend to talk to on the phone or come over and social distance, but to talk about what you're feeling. Get it off your chest. A lot of times we hold in what we're feeling. I know that I do that. I don't share very often. I don't like to burden other people because there is so much going on, right? But I have an amazing group of friends that are an extended family for me. And I know my friends would rather me share with them what's going on than to hold it in and potentially blow up later. You know, that happens. That is actually what we're seeing in the world is pent up aggression and anger and frustration and hurt. And you cannot control how that is expressed once it's gotten to that point. So talk, let it out. You can find a therapist or a counselor if you're uncomfortable. I understand, I understand therapy and counselors, it is a lot to navigate. And if you are uncomfortable, talk to a friend. The other option would be to talk to a minister or a pastor or whatever your spiritual belief is, or a parent, someone of age and wisdom that can help you navigate how you feel. I have a therapist. I have an older friend with whom I trust all of, my feelings that I don't quite understand. And she's a woman, so it helps that I can speak to a seasoned, knowledgeable, wise woman who can help me navigate what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling. I also have friends who are ministers and pastors that I can speak to get that spiritual guidance and context to help me understand what I'm feeling and deal with what I'm feeling. So talk, get it out, y'all. Like, don't hold in what you're feeling. The flip side to that is talk at work. I know a lot of times people of color, we don't speak up at work. And recently I had a situation at work that made me very uncomfortable. It's what Black people do, right? I need this good paying job. Let me not say nothing. But we are at a time where we can no longer afford to be silent. We cannot afford to let microaggressions and ignorance and off-color jokes and racial jokes, we can't let it slide anymore. So talk, be open, and find people that you can trust and that will allow you to speak without judgment. So it wouldn't be right if I, the Fat Black Girl Fitness, did not offer up getting active as a way of practicing self-care. Sometimes it is just beautiful to get out and walk and let the sun hit your face. Walk in nature. And again, I'm a person of belief. I'm a Christian. And just to look at God's creation sometimes can just bring you back to center. The other thing is to work out. When you work out, your body produces serotonin and it helps to heighten your mood. It helps to make you happier. And that, I think, is something that you can do for your body and for your mind to help you feel a lot better. My next suggestion is prayer or meditation. You don't have to be a religious or spiritual person to meditate. I think meditation is an amazing tool that helps you with focusing your mind, with calming your spirit, calming your body, calming your mind down, and to bring you back to a place of stability, calm, and peace. Prayer, likewise, will do the same. And when I say to pray, I don't necessarily mean anything formal, dear Heavenly Father, we come now before your throne. No. When I speak to God, I talk to God like he is my homie, because he is. Hey, God is my girl. And I talk and I say everything I need to say exactly how it comes out. I'm pretty sure God is okay with a little bit of profanity. Anyone who tells you otherwise, they don't know what they're talking about. But talk to God or your higher power or your higher being exactly the way that you need to. Do not edit what you say to God. If you're angry, if you're scared, whatever you're feeling, tell it to him exactly the way you need to. He's there to listen. He's there to listen. And if you want to meditate, there are several apps. I'm not going to name any because they're not paying me to name them. There are several apps that help you with guided meditation if you are new to meditating. But if you are an old pro, meditate, yoga, prayer, anything that can get you back to your center. My next suggestion is to start a new project, find a new passion, and find hope in doing something that you ordinarily wouldn't. So what do I mean by that? In this time, I have realized that I love fitness. I love creating in terms of creating videos, creating content, and I'm full throttle going head first into it. And it's provided me with a very welcome distraction during what's going on. I was in school for 2.5 years getting my master's, and I realized when I graduated, man, I don't have a lot to do anymore. And I missed, although I do not miss school, I do miss my brain being active. Now, I did take a break after graduation, but it was important to me to find a new passion, to find a new project, and something to devote my time to. So in the midst of everything going on, I can unplug from everything, I can unplug from social media, and I can create content that I put back into social media. You know what I mean. Another way to practice self-care is to get involved. Activism, community cleanup, there are so many ways that you can get involved now. It's not even funny. I am actually going to be hopefully partnering with a friend's church who is going to go out and clean up areas of the Black community that were vandalized and looted. And I'm excited to do that. You know, it's activism, it is giving back, it is providing hope. You know, I watched the George Floyd memorial, or funeral, actually, it was a funeral service, online, and I mean, listening to Reverend Sharpton gave me so much hope, you guys. Getting involved in activism, cleaning up your community, whatever you can do to find some hope. And I know, listen, I'm about to go there. Sometimes you feel hopeless. Being a person of color in a world and in a nation that hates you can sometimes feel very hopeless and lonely. But if you can find hope somewhere, in something, in God, in a new project, it lets you know that it is not over. It's not over, guys. It's not over. So my last tip is to relish in being beautiful and Black and alive. That's my last tip for self-care. It is no accident that you are a person of color. It is no accident that you are a beautiful Black man, a beautiful Black woman, a beautiful Black non-gender conforming person in this world, occupying space and energy here. So relish and be amazed and excited about that. Not everybody has that privilege. Not everybody is privileged to be in the skin that we're in. So, thank you for joining me again. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. And until next time, bye.